I guess it's running. I can't seem to get this reverse lettering correct. The cameras seem to flip it around a lot, but this is future too. So I gave a prophecy that there was going to be in the future an earthquake in San Bernardino, California. Well, it just happened, revealing that it was true. So it goes like this, boys and girls. I said when they set off they were developing nuclear weapons at the Nevada nuclear test site. They didn't want to release radioactive dusting in the air, so they went underground. And so when they set it off, the energy radiance of energy of the weapon could not go north, east, or south. Too much solidness to the continental land crust called density. So it all went like a laser due west. It wanted to radiate out into like the Pacific Ocean to the ground, but it hit an obstacle called the base of the Sierra Nevada mountains on the east side of California. So the energy of the nuclear bomb had no choice but to go north and south. So it connected with the south end of a hollow venting tunnel shaft called Lake Tahoe, west of Carson City. It is now extended connected to the earthquake fault called San Andreas Earthquake Fault north of Palm Springs. That means the lower two-thirds of California is now technically separated from this continent. So you're going to know if this tilting down is going to occur is from the west end of the lake hollow venting tunnel shaft called Lake Tahoe, a dormant volcano, headed towards the north end of the San Andreas earthquake fault of the San Francisco Bay Area. And unfortunately, if that starts happening, you look for earthquake faults along that course of travel. And it happens to go through the capital of California called Sacramento, California area. How unfortunate for them in the capital of California. So, how do I know the radiance of energy went through the ground? It comes from the 1800 telegraph era, where they used to have a coil of wire where they wanted to energize it to develop electric magnet to pull on steel mounted on spring to make a clicking sound at the receiving telegraph office. So what they would do, they knew how to build high voltage transformers. So that's a coil of wire that has wire you have to connect to at each end called a two wire circuit. So they ran one wire only over the ground on wooden poles to save on the cost of copper wire. And then they drove a steel pipe in the ground at both telegraph offices, sending one of the energy and the receiving one. So they knew to make high voltage transformers. So when they learned that if they can make high voltage for a moment and send it into the pipe, it becomes a transmitting antenna. And it went from through the ground from the sending office of the telegraph office and what's called the keyer. You click it down, a radiance of transmission to the receiving steel pipe and receiving telegraph office. And this was before the un the unfair naming of wireless transmission by Italian radio engineer called Marconi. So that was the first wireless transmission. So because of that fact, it proves that the radiance of energy of the atomic bomb underneath the Nevada nuclear test site had to go somewhere. So it picked a path of less resistance, of less dense soil. It went due west from the Nevada nuclear test site, hit the base of the Sierra Nevada mountain solid rock base. It headed north south, and that's what cracked it. This is physics you can't deny. So I gave the prophecy, said the one place where it has not had, there was a 1992 Landers earthquake fault movement, the associated one called Big Bear, 1992, through 1992 precursor, which was called Desert Hot Springs. And so I knew the crack was establishing from the San Andreas earthquake fault to head towards the east side of the Sierra Nevada mountain to the hollow venting tunnel shaft of Lake Tahoe, dormant volcano. But the one place that didn't have an earthquake fault movement was called Barstow, California. Well, in the news now, it's gone off. As there was an associated earthquake fault movement from the Landers 1992 earthquake, and a few hours later happened the Big Bear associative earthquake fault movement. Notice that the Barstow earthquake fault went off. That now connects that crack, but it had associative fault movements in a northern direction from Barstow. So the prophecy came true that God was revealing by His Holy Spirit. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long. The rubberized food that you're getting, like watermelons and cheese and McDonald's meat that doesn't disintegrate, I think that's the fulfillment of what the food industries want to do. Is called gamma rain foods, vegetables, fruits, including meat products. So you destroy all the microbiological life that's in the food, and it sterilizes it. So you're actually being given sterilized food by possible gamma ray, and that's why it becomes like rubbery after a while because it changes what's called the molecular density of the foods. So McDonald's, if you're doing that gamma ray in the meat, and people find out, they're not going to buy your products because I guess it could be your fish sandwiches and everything. You'll gamma ray it because it's supposed to extend the life, but it's phony food. It'll be more rubbery and it doesn't disintegrate. Okay, but it's my personal opinion only. Okay, thank you very much.